You know, there was times where, you know, I'm going crazy. I'm a psycho. That's how they rap too in the 90s. And these guys probably were very standard, like, you know, when I rock on the mic and the boom, ba boom, and I rock in the crowd. And then all of a sudden they hear us go, holy smoking smo, no jokes, the bo ro folks, the boat soak to the boats. And they're probably like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the coastline of Connecticut and welcome to the Shorecast with your host, Apathy.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Apathy. This is my co-host, Big Al Mayo.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
We are back with another episode of the Shorecast. Anchors up, and here we go. Do you remember? We're keeping it. I don't give a fuck at this point. Do you remember when Heavy D used to rock the Coke suits, like the Coca-Cola suits?
I don't remember that. What year was this?
Are you kidding me? This was the 80s.
I don't remember.
Maybe you didn't have like a video outlet to watch. But
was it during the Now That We
way before that, 80s. This was the 80s, man. This was the overweight lovers in the house, all that.
Classic. I love his music back then, but not videos.
Yeah, you probably just didn't we were kids.
We didn't get video. We didn't get BET to 96.
No, way fucking earlier than that. We didn't get
like
BET.
96.
Where were you? Because we got BET in 91.
Norwich. Man, we didn't get that stuff.
Nah, that's not true. Maybe you just didn't peep. Maybe you guys didn't have fucking cable at that point.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 94, but it was the 90s, way late 90s.
1991, we had BET out here, serviced.
Norwich wasn't looking out for us.
You got that Norwich cable, son.
Yep.
Anyway, so it was crazy then. Like wearing Coke on outfits was like, I don't know if that was like an allusion. Was that, because somebody can an OG, I don't want to hear of some fucking know-it-all past researcher. Can an OG verify for me, especially maybe a New York OG, was rocking the Coca-Cola gear with Coke on it an allusion to cocaine from the 80s? You know what I'm saying? Was that the purpose, or was it just some fly shit because Coke was a popular drink and it still is?
Well, that's from a rap. But do you think maybe it was just because he was sponsored by them? I don't know.
That's a good question, too. Maybe that was it. Coke was, here's the thing. Let's make no mistake about it. Coca-Cola, back in the day, before we knew all this shit that we know now, how bad shit was. When we were kids, Coca-Cola was the fucking shit. Were you a Coke or a Pepsi person?
Pepsi. My mom was Pepsi.
I like Pepsi a lot, but I definitely... There are certain things that are immutable about Coke, like when you would go to like a sporting event and you drink fountain Coca-Cola with the ice cubes in it out of those stupid plastic the wax Dixie cups. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember.
That was that the highest level of Coke though? Was that like the best form that you could drink Coca-Cola in?
No, the best form was in a glass bottle. That was the elite. We didn't get glass bottles, but that was the very best, I think.
Because now the Mexican Cokes are like that now.
Yep.
Because if you get the bottles from Mexico, you got the Coke like that.
With the real sugar.
Right, with the real sugar, which is a lot more elite and better. But I think that the level, if we had to rate it, I would say, my personal, because you're saying different.
Yeah.
I think the Coke out of the, what do they call it? Fountain soda. And then the bottle, then the can. Can is fucking better than stupid plastic bottles, which is what we have now.
Yeah, I agree. So my order is going to be the bottle, the can, glass bottle, the can, then fountain.
Word?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Fountain's way down.
All right. I just saw on a podcast where, I think it was Tom Segura, where they were talking about the fact that McDonald's has a really crazy formula. That's why McDonald's Coca-Cola tastes so superior, because they have a formula for how they mix up with the carbonation, and they have to use ice cold water or something like that. You guys should look it up on YouTube. I think it's Tom Segura talking about it, but it makes sense too, and it's crazy. But Coke back in the day, and you remember they had the war, like the Coke versus Pepsi war
through the 80s all the time. I remember that.
Do you remember Crystal Pepsi?
Oh yeah, Clear Pepsi.
Clear Pepsi, that was it. Right? Was it Crystal Pepsi or Clear Pepsi? Same shit.
One of the two.
Yeah, that was the 90s. And for some reason...
New Coke? How about New Coke?
New Coke was a thing, too. Yo, you guys got to realize, they tried everything back in the day. They tried New Coke. They tried Coke.
Cherry Coke?
Coke 2. Oh. Cherry Coke was a hit, though. Coke 2. Do you remember Coke 2?
I do.
These were all stupid fucking ideas that they had for some reason or another. And that's why Coke became Classic Coke. Does this still say Classic Coke? This is 0. This is a 0. Do you have a regular Coke, Fixer?
That's generic Coke.
Yeah, you have a cherry Coke, but does it say Classic Coke? Are they still doing that?
Yeah, they still say classic.
That's why it's called Classic Coke, though, because we had fucking so many stupid Cokes on there.
Yeah.
Coke 1 and Coke 2.
Then you got Diet Coke, obviously.
Diet Coke is shit. There's so many people who be like, oh, I want a DC, I want a Diet Coke. Diet Coke tastes like shit. It is fucking gross, man.
Well, the best part is you go to McDonald's, you get 2 Whoppers. Oh, excuse me, 2 Whoppers. You get 2 Big Macs and a Diet Coke.
You're like the guy from the Run DMC, You Be Illin', where you go into McDonald's and
I
you're
like the Whopper, fuck the Big Mac. Who's that?
That's Rob Bass.
Yeah, baby. I did prefer the Whopper over the Big Mac anyway.
Yo, 80s were dope though, man. Just speaking of that era. Yo, let me ask you something. Here's the thing. Back in our day, we had sleepovers. You could sleep over your friend's house and you were, I'm not going to speak for everybody because I'm sure some kids out there got fucked up. I don't feel like, am I bugging or was it safer for us to have sleepovers back in the day? Why does it seems like more shit pops off now?
I don't know. I mean, shit, when I stayed over my friend's house, we snuck out. We went out.
Yo, listen, I was friends with this kid, Adam Creel, rest in peace. I was friends with this kid, Adam Creel. We were kids, bro. We were like fucking 6 or 7. We were 7 years old. We snuck out of his grandma's house when I stayed over there one night, and we walked into town. I was living in this little, pretty little town, right? We snuck out. It was fucking the middle of the night. And when the cars would come, we would jump off the side of the road and hide. We would ditch the cars. But bro, we walked miles and miles. Like, what the fuck? We were 7-year-olds and it was like fucking midnight. And we're just out there. Like it was some real Stand By Me shit. Like
Yep,
it was some real adventure shit. But everything we did, bro, riding the bikes all around and exploring. Remember, you know what's lost that doesn't happen nowadays that happened when we were kids? Cutting through somebody's lawn. Or yard.
I still do it.
I bet you fucking do. But right we would cut through yards and people didn't care as much. It was just part of it. Like you cut through neighborhoods and yards to get to somebody else. You can't do that now.
People are going to complain.
You go on somebody's property, they're going to call the police and shit like that.
Karens.
Yeah. What the fuck was it though? You know what I think what it is? I don't necessarily think maybe, and everybody says this, I don't necessarily think the 80s were safer. I just think that we hear about more shit now because of the internet.
Instantly now, right?
Everybody got a TikTok story.
You don't have to wait for the newspaper today. It's just right online.
Remember the newspaper, man. The newspaper would those stories would scare the shit out about you when you got you see like a little kid missing or the fucking milk cartons, the faces on the milk cartons. You be looking at you wake up on the wrong morning, you feel a little bit out of it, and you're like looking at the kid. You'll zone out for a minute, be like, damn, that could have fucking.
Well, the question is, why did they get rid of that? Are kids no longer missing?
Yeah, but nobody gives a fuck because you got the internet now. You got it on your phone. Nobody needs to look at a fucking milk carton. Nobody's even paying attention to milk cartons.
Nope.
Nobody's reading words anymore.
Swiping quickly, that's it.
Remember when you stay over your friends and like your parents will be like, all right, we'll go to the movie store. You can rent like 2 movies.
Yeah, it was dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like you go there and rent the videos. And this was fire, you guys. You guys got to realize some of you guys, I think 90s babies would have been the last ones to really remember that, right? Am I bugging? Were 2000s? Yeah.
No, 2000s would have been into the internet era.
Were you're what the fuck year were you born? 2005. You never rented DVDs from Blockbuster or nothing like that, right? You already had access. Okay. So going to Blockbuster though was dope, and it felt doper than all this shit because when you would go to Blockbuster back in the day, it was an event. It was something you were going to do. It was tangible. You get in your car, maybe you got your girl with you. You go to Blockbuster, you pick out a couple fucking snacks, you know what I'm saying? Then you're looking through all the movies. You guys making fun of stupid movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, look at this shit.
Well, first of all, you walked into the back because that's where all the new releases were, along the wall.
Right, along
remember
the wall.
Shit?
Yeah, of course.
I remember going in, being excited about getting the movie. My parents owned the video store, so I used to get movies back in
dope.
Yeah, free movies.
That's dope.
But I had the movie theater experience, going to rent movies, bring them home with snacks, and those are great memories, you know?
Yeah, and when you would go to a Blockbuster and you would live that, you'd pick out your movies, so you had a finite amount of movie that you could watch. It wasn't just like now where you sit down and you're like, all right, fuck this. We're gonna we get 10 minutes into it, we don't want to watch this. Or you sit there and you scroll through 5,000 movies trying to pick one. You just go to the wall, you look what's on the wall, you pick something, and you got to rock with it. You're committed.
For days.
You're committed to that shit.
For 2 days.
But that was an event. It was part of the human experience. And now it's like a virtual thing that's not even there. I also remember like we would rent shit and it would be a strikeout, but you got to make the best of it. Like when we were really little in the 80s, we rented the Garbage Pail Kids movie, which was terrible.
It was bad.
I think I think it's online somewhere streaming. You got to go check out the Garbage Pail Kids movie to see how bad it is. And then we watched like Mad Balls. Do you remember fucking Mad Balls? And these were strikeouts, but you had to be committed to it, man. You had to go to it, man.
I remember the movie Critters back in the day. Remember that movie?
Critters was dope.
They were like mad balls running around. They were space balls.
Yeah. But they looked like little porcupines. They had the shit on their back.
They were dope.
And then you had the dude who he changed his face to a human. He looked like a rock star.
That rock star.
Yeah.
Oh, classic movies, man.
Critters was if you guys want to catch a really 80s style movie, one that was dope about some aliens from space, Critters is the one.
And The Gate.
The Gate was dope too.
The Gate. You guys remember The Gate, right? The Gate was classic.
Yep. This kid in his backyard, he had a gate to hell.
He played that record backwards. Dude, that shit was wild.
And it opened up a gate to hell in his backyard. But yo, that was it, man. And nowadays, I just feel like with movies, people have too many choices. Like you just get locked up, and you know you melt down, and you can't.
They're just recycling the same movies right now.
That's
like
a fact
Jurassic Park 34.
Jurassic Park 34.
That's what they're up to now, I guess. Well, maybe not 34, but there's a lot of these Jurassic Parks. Everything's being remade right now.
You can't beat the classic Jurassic Park either.
Dope.
No matter what you do, no matter what type of special effects you get. I was almost in a movie.
Which one?
Brown Sugar.
What was that about?
It was
Wesley
with
Snipes?
no. What's his name? Lorenz Tate. Am I right? Is that right? Somebody Google that real quick. See who was in Brown Sugar, Brandon. But Brown Sugar, anyway, there was these people who worked as like label executives. But so I went and auditioned for Brown Sugar. There was a lot of rappers there too. Sabak Red from Nonfiction was there. Fucking Joe Claire from Rap City was there.
Yep, I remember him.
I think Virtuoso was there. Me and Esoteric drove together. We went to New York to go audition for this fucking movie. And the part they wanted, we didn't know what was going on. I think legendary promoter Rocky LaMontagne, shout out to Rocky. Rocky used to book all the shows for the New Eurekan. Did it say who was in that movie?
What I was thinking of was Sugar Hill.
Who?
Sonaya Lathan and
Tay Diggs.
I was thinking of Sugar Hill.
Oh, word. Sugar Hill was dope. Anyway, it wasn't Sugar Hill. But so Brown Sugar, we go there to audition. And I was like, what's the part, right? What are we auditioning for? It was for two rappers, Ren and Ten, a black dude and a white dude. They were called the Hip Hop Dalmatians. Ren and Ten, the Hip Hop Dalmatians. And we're all sitting there. It's a lot of real MCs in there. There's a lot of real dope white MCs. Like I said, Esso, Virtuoso, Sabak. There was all these people. There's and we're like all looking at each other like, what the fuck? And none of us got the part. No, I don't think the dude who got it is a real MC.
What year was this?
I don't know. I'm not sure what year that movie was. This must have been the early 2000s.
Damn.
But it was batshit crazy, man. But I think 2002. Okay.
23 years ago. Damn.
Thank God I wasn't Ren or 10 of the Hip Hop Dalmatians. You know what I mean?
You would have been typecast to that or forever.
Not just typecast. I think all my credibility would have been out the fucking window, bro. That would have been crazy. But you know what? Here's the thing, man. Even though I wouldn't have wanted to be Ren or 10 and I wouldn't want to be noticed for that, I'm at the age now, and I know you feel like this too. I'm at the age now, I don't give a fuck anymore about posturing and creating some fake persona like I gotta be tough or like I gotta come on the mic and be on that. See, if somebody is really like that, that's fine. But if me get on the mic and be like, yeah, you know Al, you know what it is, bro. Like, ha, like I don't need the posture. at any point. I'm 46 years old. I don't want to act. Guys like me and you, I've never been a sucker for a fucking millisecond of my life, and I'm not the fucking one. But I want to be friendly, and I want to be happy, and I want to be cool, and that's not corny. I just don't want to posture, man. I'm exhausted with negativity. I'm exhausted with the facade. I like to fucking be nice to people. We're cut from the same cloth, bro. Everywhere me and you walk,
we like meeting new people.
We're like the mayor. We're like going out to be the mayor and shit. We shake hands. We fucking meet people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We talk. We don't have to act like some fake hard shit. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Well, people know I'm a truth chipper, so I don't need to prove it anymore.
Right.
I just go out to show who I am. Much love, caring. Not like a Karen, but caring about people, being enthusiastic. That's fun for me. I ain't gonna prove nothing to nobody.
Yo, I love when we're out and we be bullshitting with people. You make a friend.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
All the time.
I like bullshitting with people. I like talking with people. I like being cool. Doing all that other shit is exhausting. If that's you and you just don't fuck with people, or you're just on some quiet and different shit, God bless you. I don't care, But people who want to put it on because somebody's insecure and act a certain way, that's not the move.
I don't need a tough guy persona. It doesn't make sense. We're old, man. We're older.
We're old dudes. We're old heads.
Older dudes.
I be making dad jokes and making banter.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God, bro. Banter is the dopest shit,
We're skilled at that shit.
Super skilled at that shit.
You know it.
Fucking talk to somebody who's like a boomer. All of a sudden you be in a conversation. Yo, shout out, rest in peace to my brother Blackistan. Blackistan was like that. Blackistan was the kind of guy where we would fly to LA, right? And how like when you all buy multiple flights, not everybody's gonna sit together all the time, right? We get on a plane and I see Black sit down in between two like 70-year-old white ladies, right? And I'm like, I'll smile because I'm like, look, he's gonna sit between two 70-year-old white ladies. Yo, we'll get up and be getting off the plane, and I'll see this dude talking to him and be like, all right, Mary, we'll stay in touch. I got your number for sure. And I'm like, what the fuck? Blackistan was the king of that shit. Blackistan was cool with everybody. He had magical charisma wherever he went. And I always thought that was really dope. And I've heard like there's a lot of people who are real dudes who are like that as well, very charismatic. Like I heard 50's like that.
Wow.
People say that 50's like that. If you're approaching 50 with respect or he talks to people, I heard that I always thought that was dope. I always respected that.
Yeah.
That you could just move around the world and not have to posture because you're secure in who you are.
And we like meeting new people. We're cool. We bring our enthusiasm and we just have a good time every time we go.
There are boundaries though. Like fans try to come up, be too comfortable. Because we like getting to know people on a stranger basis where you're like, oh, what's up? And then boom, boom, boom. But then there's some fans be coming up trying to get to like saying your government name and shit. And I'm like, who the fuck?
I don't have those issues. I'm just local.
Nah, but yeah, you're local. We can't go to the store without this motherfucker, ladies popping their heads around aisles going, are you Al Mayo? Oh my God, can we take a picture?
Oh shit.
I love your shit.
It's dope. It's dope.
It is dope, man. It's really dope. Speaking of LA, when I was making that little thing, a dope memory I had, I've been meaning to talk about this on the podcast because I want to shout out my friend.
Okay.
First of all, I want to preface it with shouting out my brother Be Real, who I love so much. He's a good dude, very good friend, great person, just one of my absolute idols and heroes. Here's an interesting thing. Here's an interesting perspective. Your heroes and MCs that you love, they're humans too. And sometimes things don't happen the exact way that you see it in your head. Like if you think, oh, I'm going to meet this guy and he's going to be so excited that I'm his fan, and I picture an experience that I want to have, and that guy better fit into the mold of it. When I met Be Real the first time, he was a fucking jerk to me. Be Real. The first time that I met B, he was a jerk to me. And this was he didn't even know me back then. This was when I got signed to Atlantic Records, and I was out in Hollywood with Scoop DeVille and Ryu somewhere, and I saw B. And B, Cypress meant everything to me. Cypress is one of my favorite groups of all time. So we're at this Hollywood event, and I go to talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? You know, I love your music. I've been a fan for so long. I'd love to work with you. He doesn't know who the fuck I am. I'd love to work with you someday. I just got signed to Atlantic. And he's like, yeah, all right, man. All right. Boom, something like that. And I don't remember exactly what it was. Maybe, you know, I'm
funny.
Right. And I remember like walking away like, man, fuck that.
He shunned the shit out of you, huh?
Damn, man.
Insane in the membrane.
I was like, damn, that's fucked up, man. I was
Hilarious.
like, fuck that. God damn. So I walked away salty over that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then years later, I was introduced to Be Real, and we talked, and I can't imagine a world where Be Real is a jerk, because he's one of the dopest, most humble, down-to-earth dudes. And when I reflected on that moment, I realized I don't know what was happening with him that night. He could have had a fight with somebody he was friends with. He could have been having a real stressful moment. Something could have been fucked up. But when you approach a celebrity or somebody you're a fan of, and something may be going on with them, they may be fucked up somehow. There might be some issue that's happening. You don't know what they got going on. They could be having baby mama drama. They could be going through a lawsuit. They could have lost somebody. Somebody could have passed away. So you don't know what's going on. You can't have expectations of a scenario that's going to play out in your mind. But and anyway, I want to say all that to say, Be Real ended up being one of the dopest fucking dudes, man. Working with Cypress, I've worked with Cypress multiple times. It's absolutely incredible. Be Real actually is the one who started my addiction to the game Call of Duty.
Oh, he got you
In
hooked.
2009, we were at the studio. I was with him in Exhibit at the studio. Rest in peace to Jay Turner too. And we were out there, and Be Real was like, yo, you should try that game out there in the lobby, and I'm in the green room right there. And I was like, what is it? And I was like, I haven't played video games in a long time. He's like, nah, it's dope, man. I've been playing it all day. So I went in there and I fucking started playing this video game, bro, off the fucking charts, man. I was hooked right away, Call of Duty. So Be Real put me onto that. But we were working on some Cypress stuff. I produced a couple records for the Cypress stuff. And even one time, becoming friends with those guys is incredible. One time we were overseas. These are just things as a fan, me talking about as, yeah, I'm an artist and I'm Apathy, but me as a fan, I did a show with Paz and Jedi Mind Tricks, Army of the Pharaohs guys. Shout out to all my Army of the Pharaohs brothers. We did a show out in Europe, in Cyprus. It was a big festival, huge festival. Cyprus was there too, and I knew by this point. We started working together. And I'm off to the side a little bit. And, shout out to my brother Eric Bobo. Shout out to all the guys. So, they started to do the prayer backstage. And then B was like, yo, App, come get in. And they put me in the prayer. They had me get in the huddle. That meant the world to me, bro. Yeah, I felt like inside I was beaming. You know what I'm saying? Because I just felt like an outsider little brother for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope. It was dope to be included like that. It was a huge memory. It's hard to explain it and probably give you guys an idea of what that feeling actually felt like. But it was so dope, man.
The experience you had about meeting somebody you thought was an idol for you?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I met Ghostface Killer a few years ago.
Yep.
And I had a similar experience where I was like, hey, how you doing, man? And I had a Source magazine for him to sign.
Yeah.
And he was kind of rude as all hell. And I was like, oh, shit. But he signed it. And I was like, oh, appreciative. But Raekwon was mad love, yo. He was a cool guy, down to earth. Ghostface, he was a little bit off that day. And I was a little taken back. But he signed my magazine, so I'm appreciative of it. You know what I'm saying?
And once again, you never know what he had going on that day.
I'm still a fan. It doesn't change anything. I'm just a fan getting an autograph. He doesn't know me from anywhere, So I'm not mad about it. So what?
Right. I think fans sometimes have because I'm a fan too. Let's be real.
Right.
Before I'm even Apathy, before I'm anything, I'm a fan first. Mm-hmm. Number one fucking first. I'm a fan. I'm still a fan. I fan out on the guys who I'm friends with, all these guys, but you can't have expectations of how you think a situation is going to go because that other person is a human, bro. That other person takes shits. That other person is going to die one day. That other person has family who passes away. That other person has relationships and all these different things. You can't set some type of crazy expectation like you're going to have some magical story book fucking situation where you meet your hero. You know what I'm saying? I met so many guys who disappointed me over the years. But that's it, man. You just got to realize that everybody's human, man. A big issue right now in hip hop, and I think this has been an issue for a minute, is ageism.
Uh-oh.
And
True.
There's a big divide, I think bigger than there ever has been in hip hop, with young people and what they listen to and our generation, right?
Right.
Because I don't know if the music has ever been so radically different. Like, it's night and day from what it is. It's almost like, in my opinion, it's like a whole, it's not even the same music anymore. Like, the vibey shit, it's more based on just a vibe of a feeling and like a ethereal fucking, intangible vibe, as opposed to something concrete and structured, what we would listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have very specific, like, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. And that's a topic about a specific thing with a specific beat and a specific sample. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it seems like mumble rap has taken over. So that's what's more popular. A good beat and some mumble rapper. And that's the most popular music.
I don't even know if it's just mumble rappers, but it's definitely more vibe oriented. And me personally, it's not my cup of tea at all. I think some of it's god awful. And at this point in 2025, I'm so fucking sick of auto-tune. Maybe you're something divine. All that. Oh my God. It's like fucking nails on a chalkboard.
To find good artists today, you have to do a lot of searching. But there are great artists out there that we remember, that we like.
Yeah, there are. Here's the thing. I'm going to say, so, there's probably young people out there who heard me shit on that right now and say it's not my thing. But I want to say something in support of them, okay? When I was 14 in 1993, I loved Wu-Tang Clan, and I loved these guys who were like, abomatomically, well, this isn't 93, but Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define a wabi drop. I like that shit, right?
Yep.
The older dudes, their era was like,
hip hop, hippity hip hop.
have you ever gone down the street seen you with a was a boom?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to be fair, that generation, and by the way, I listened to a lot of, old stuff when I was a little kid too. But the hippity bip bop ba doom ba ba boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, that whole shit, that sounded old as fuck to me.
I still listen to that to this day.
We had something new though. We were a new generation. We couldn't be expected 90s. To keep doing the Kumo D. No disrespect, nope. I loved Kumo D too. I had Kumo D tape when I was real little, okay? Yep. All night long. I loved Kumo D, right? But we couldn't be expected to continue and just be cemented to stuff that sounded like Melly Mel at the time and identical to Curtis Blow and Melly Mel. There was an evolution that happened, okay?
Yes.
Now, I think my only argument is that we evolved in a more cerebral, complex, evolutionary manner. This shit has changed to a formless, different manner. But my point is, in support of them, they shouldn't be expected to fuck with the same exact shit that we fucked with. They shouldn't have to be cemented to the idea of, well, I need to do exactly, because think about it, we're grown-ups now. We're the parents. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I happen to like a lot of my parents' music, but I needed to also listen to NWA and Ice Cube and Public Enemy and Poor Righteous Teachers. That was different than what I had my own thing. So they got their own fucking thing too. And I don't even know, I was just about to rattle off like new young artists. I don't even know who the fuck to give as an example. Who you got kids, you know what I'm saying, who are more of that age, but I don't even know who. But so I think my point is, they have their space and time for what's appropriate for them. But Young LaRose was just saying that Clipse new album, by the way, I just saw Clipse right. on Sunday night. Incredible show. Dope. They're so dope. New album is really dope. There's so many songs I love on that new album. I love the Clipse. It's amazing to see Malice back. But I think the crazy thing to think about is that the Clipse have supposedly on the internet, this is the talk of the internet, the Clipse have aged out too from the younger generation.
I get it. I understand that.
Right, and that's crazy to me because and like Young LaRose was saying, this is one of the best albums to come out of the year, and it may not be reaching certain crowds because of this border of ageism, which I think is fucking nuts. Because there's a lot of guys, like, let's be real about it, okay? LL Cool J started popping way the fuck when I was young and little. I saw his new shit came out, and when I was little, I loved Radio, I loved Bad, all those records, right? But then LL continued to go on, and I still loved LL's music, right? So I think that good music is good music. And I think, Young LaRose, you were saying too that an argument is the OGs didn't do their job at passing along some of those virtues and values and maybe taste for the music. But I think my pushback against that is, what can you do? You can play kids, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna rebel. They're not gonna wear the same clothing. Ironically, though, kids are dressing like us when we were there.
It's made a comeback.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. It's their time, yo. It is their time.
Yeah.
And we can't expect them to enjoy and love the music we liked.
Right.
Just like our parents who liked the hip, the hop, that type of style, they couldn't expect that for us in the 90s. We wanted to hear that hardcore shit.
Right.
So I totally understand it. And it stings a little bit. But at the end of the day, we're the old crowd. We're the old school.
I get and I understand how Melly Mel and Curtis Blow could have seen our age group as corny as fuck too.
Of course.
Because there were some moments in the 90s where we're like, well, the hippity hippopotamus, the bob of the bob, the humpty, you know what I'm saying? Which is classic to us. And then there was times where, I'm going crazy. I'm a psycho. That's how they rap too in the 90s. And these guys probably were very standard, like, when I rock on the mic and some the boom, boom, and I rock in the crowd. And then all of a sudden they hear us go, holy smoking smoke, no jokes, the bo ro rokes, the poke soak to the whoops. And they're probably like, what the fuck are they talking about? This shit don't make no fucking sense. Because that was vibe oriented too. Our shit in the early 90s to the mid 90s, a lot of it was very vibe oriented. I loved it.
For me, I still find good music today. And I said this before. I find great artists who are performing with great music like Corday. There's other rappers, Big X The Plug. There's all these rappers who are giving great quality music. They're just not the mainstream. That's all.
Yeah, you have a more open mind and a different palette
new music? Yeah, I do.
than I do.
I do.
I have a harder time.
Yeah.
And it's not me trying to be unfair or curmudgeonly because I'm receptive. I'm open if I hear something. There's artists who I like. There's artists who I fuck with who are new artists. And I love Coast Contra. I think that's the, an obvious
one. How about
one.
Dave East?
Dave East is dope. But there's Pink Sifu. I love Pink Sifu. He's really dope. There's some artists who are dope, man. And let me see.
I've got a handful there.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists who are dope, man. It's definitely, it's not the same thing, but I think as far as the ageism goes, I think that's just so natural, man. When you're a young person, you're going to rebel against what your parents' generation was and the energy is,
When I hear music today and it's a young artist and he's rapping about shooting up somebody or doing something, I'm like, ooh. But then I remembered when I was younger, that was what I was listening to.
Here is something you can't understand. How I could just kill a man. Throw your guns in the air. Come on, bro. We had a million of them.
So the problem I have as I've gotten older is I'm wrestling with, oh my goodness, that's inappropriate, right? Or the rappers, the female rappers, talking about WAP. Well, I remember Little Kim talking about being scared of the D. And then she, but so
I remember BWP, HWA, all those groups, man. People talking wild shit. Yeah,
yes,
we're definitely older. We're older, man.
Yeah.
I got into this fucking game when I was damn near 17. I started oh my God, bro. Yeah, I was like 17 years old.
Almost 30 years ago. So let me tell you this. If Jay-Z releases another album that's just like Reasonable Doubt, are you going to listen to that and be like, this is dope?
Yeah.
No. You don't want to hear Jay-Z rapping about shooting up a place. You don't want to hear Jay-Z rapping about selling drugs. He's past that.
Well, look, let me tell you something. Look at what Clipse just did. Clipse just did a fucking phenomenal album where they're talking about things they've seen and done in the past.
Okay. Well,
that's what I'm doing.
But that draws a lot of criticism from other people who say, come on, man, you're 50. What are you talking about shooting up or selling drugs? You're 50. And that's what people don't accept.
But it was part of, here's the thing. It was part of the core base and creation of their life. You know what I'm saying? What was that? Is it dying? Is it good? Maybe it just... Okay.
I listen to some of the worst or some of the most explicit Tupac music that I love.
Yeah.
But if I listen to that as an adult, I'd be like, ugh. If another artist, rap those same lyrics, I wouldn't feel the same way I did.
It's a hip hop classic that didn't age well with me. I can't listen to it anymore.
What's
and
that?
Not because of a moral high ground. I just don't like it anymore. Akinelli Put It in Your Mouth.
Oh.
I don't, in no disrespect, it was a classic record. I bought the fucking tape, but I listened to it recently. I was like, oh fuck yeah, Akinelli Put It in Your Mouth.
Yeah,
and I'm listening and I'm like,
it just makes you uncomfortable, doesn't it? Just
not
a little
uncomfortable. I was just like, I don't know, man. It doesn't hit the same no more.
No. That's maturity, though. That's maturity. So if Jay-Z's going to release a new album, I want to hear maturity in it. It's just like this album 444. I love that album.
Let me tell you something, though.
That album was dope.
Motherfucking with the Clipse, though, this Clipse album, bro, I can't say enough good things about. I don't love every song for the Clipse album, okay? Let's just say that. And that's not to be negative. That's just me being realistic, right? But let me tell you something. The Clipse album, The Birds Don't Sing, is one of the greatest masterpieces I've heard in a long fucking time. These guys are detailing the events and everything surrounding their parents passing, okay? And the way they wrote it, so I'm going to try to explain this to you guys, okay? I'm a writer's writer. I'm a nerd writer, okay? And I talk with my other friends who are nerd writers too, Little Vic and Pharoah Monch and different guys who are really, really into the writing aspect, and we pay attention to good songwriting. I don't know if you'll pick up why or understand why, but that song, The Birds Don't Sing, is not normal writing. It's elite level. The way they put everything together, how they carried the storyline, the way they did their flows and the way they pieced everything together. It's elite level writing, man. Shout out to the Clipse and hats off to them for doing that song. But once again, on that album, yeah, they're talking about hustling shit. And then, you know what I love too? Here's what I loved when we went to the concert. Esoteric was there. I'm so sad I missed Esoteric and Beyonder. I saw Van Styles there in the crowd. I didn't get to say hi to anybody, but Eso and Beyonder were there. But anyway, what I loved about the Clipse show, and Esoteric, we were texting about this, they had the dopest LED screens behind them. Yeah. And constantly they were flashing personal photos and home videos and just probably other things from YouTube or cultural things of where they're from, hood shit, drug shit, 80s shit, 70s shit, their pictures of their family. They did the best job of not making it cliche and using easy layup images, of conveying everything that the Clipse have ever been about. Like, it was mind-blowingly dope. The Mike Tyson Blows to the Face song, they had the type pictures of Tyson I'd never seen in my life before. And they had video footage, and it was just, it painted such a ill visual, man. They did it right. It felt like a cohesive presentation. That was one of the most impressive things I've seen in a long time.
Well, they could still win the Grammy. And with that being said, Killer Mike, he's aged out, right? He's about 50-something, and he released an album less than 2 years ago, Michael, and he won a Grammy for it.
Good for him.
So it doesn't mean that they don't have the opportunity to win a Grammy, because if their album's that great, they have the opportunity still.
I also hate that we have to say aged out. Why does that keep happening? Powering off. It's dead? We can do without it, right? We have enough shots, okay? Okay. I also hate to say the term aged out. Right. Because I think we're just saying that to mean that it's a generational gap.
It's a conversation that they say. That's all we mean.
Right. It's not a meaning aged out where the person's irrelevant, but not by any fucking means.
What their words are, and we're referring to it the way they talk about it.
Right. So I think that it's unfortunate that there's that generational gap. Here's what bums me out too. I don't know for certain, okay? But if you got some rock motherfuckers, right, who are 21-year-old rock kids, I'm sure they have great reverence for Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and all these groups who came before them. And I highly doubt, I don't know, but I can't imagine that they're out like, fuck that old shit, bro. I'm only listening to this record that's hot now. Fuck these old guys, you know, fucking Black Sabbath and all that. I can't imagine they're saying that. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I think it just breaks my heart that hip hop is like that. Like that hip hop isn't like, yes, listen, I love this vibey shit now. I love Travis Scott, but Wu-Tang are the legends. Wu-Tang are the guys. Because I say that about the OGs who were before us, before our time. T. La Rock was a little bit before our time, but he is a written in stone, made man, iconic legend. And we herald him as that. His name, his fucking jersey's in the rafters, bro. Yeah. Like in a positive way. He's his honor is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's the thing that bothers me about the ageism is the respect isn't there. You don't have to drive around in your car. You don't have to fucking roll up blunts to it, but at least acknowledge and give that respect.
Well, let's keep it real because in our everyday lives, we're aged out. People call us old heads because we're 40s, right? So it's a part of life. Fuck it. We'll get over it. Right. We're going to get over it.
That's facts. That's facts. I can't believe how long I've been in the game, bro. I'm 46 years old now. I started when I was 17, 18. When I started with, everybody knows pretty much that I started out with Jedi Mind Tricks, the first group that I worked with. Shout out to my brother, Vinny Paz. Vinny Paz brought me in. Right. It was dope. I was working at a college radio station when I was 17.
Damn.
And I was down with this crew called Alien Nation, Supernatural, Phoenix, Orion. I could go on for an hour. Shout out to Naptron. But I was down with that crew. And so we were rapping on some spiritual, psychological, mental, lyrical shit, right? There wasn't a lot of that out there. It wasn't a lot, okay? When I'm at the radio station, all of a sudden, we get a new vinyl in, and it says Jedi Mind Tricks, the Amber Probe EP. And I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? So we go in Studio B, which is not the Air Studio. It's the production studio room. And I throw this shit on. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck are these guys? And
that was the first time you heard them?
Yeah. And then Brandon's dad, Open Mike,
yep.
Me and Open Mike are sitting there. And I was with Mike at the time. And we're like, yo, who the fuck is this? And on the vinyl, they had an email, right, for Super Regular Records. So I go email, shout out to Pablo. I think it was Pablo who answered the email. So I emailed and just to make a connection. And then I think Pablo linked me with Paz. And Paz was going by Icon the Verbal Hologram at the time. And me and him jumped on the phone and we would just rap with each other. And we started getting on the phone all the time. And we're spitting bars. And Paz was like, yo, I want you to come down to Philly, bro. I want to put you on the album. We're working on the album right now. And I was like, okay, dope. And at the time, I was living with Eternia. Shout out to Eternia. We took the Amtrak together from New Haven to Philly. And, we got there. We started recording. It was hot as fuck. It was summertime. Paz picked us up. He had this little bucket. We had to stop, get 40s for Paz. Paz had to pick up the 40s right away. And we went out to Love Park. There was mad famous skateboarders out there. Everybody knew Paz. I remember we were listening. Paz was really listening to Beatnuts, Stone Crazy. That was big at the time. And we were just listening to a whole bunch of dope shit. But so we went to Stoop is the producer for Jedi Mind Tricks. Really dope, incredible producer, okay? All and right. Jedi Mind Tricks was bubbling in the underground at the time. And Jedi Mind Tricks at the time was Paz and Stoop. So it's kind of like a Guru Premiere situation, right? So we go to Stoop's crib, and it is like 98 degrees out. There's no air conditioner in this spot. And we start going through the beats. And this one joint he threw on called Omnicron. It's got the guitars. Stu played it with a guitar. Boom, 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 boom. It was bonkers. And flipped up the beat, hooked it up. I'm sitting there kicking these raps on it. And Eternia had done a verse and recorded it, but I don't think it came out that great. They didn't want to use it. That particular verse she had done, it just wasn't it. When it's not it, it's not it. And so that verse got scrapped, but I recorded 3 verses, and that was my first time ever being on vinyl. Paz brought me out there, showed me so much love in Philly, and it was such a dope, crazy experience. And we went out there, and then when I got back, they put out the vinyl. It's called, the longest title. It's that skateboard right there. The psychosocial, chemical, biological, and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness.
I know you played that record on the radio station all the time, huh?
Bro, we ran that into the dirt, but it was wild. And they sent me a box too. The guys, Jan and Paz and Pablo, they sent me a box of the vinyls. Bro, I'm a teenager. I can't imagine what it was like for, guys like Special Ed and those guys who as teenagers blew up and had major label stuff. Because just working with Paz and them on the psychosocial and then having them send me a small amount of vinyl, I was on cloud 9. You couldn't tell me shit. I was ready for the limousine, bro.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me fucking shit. I was on there as Apathy, the Alien Tongue back there. That was my name. That was my rap name.
You still got the record?
I do. It's framed in there, but I had to rebuy it. And I'm lucky that I got an original pressing because they repressed it later. So I hunted down and searched and got an original super regular records because Baby Grand Records ended up putting that out. But that was such a magical time period. And then right after that, here's the crazy thing. Paz and I have always been down, but right after we did that album, Paz was like, yo, I want to do a side group called the Tibetan Black Magicians. And I was like, that's fucking ill. That's a crazy name. And during that time period, it wasn't as easy to stay in touch. Like, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have texting, you didn't have fucking all these messengers and shit like that. So I started doing records with Self at Bronx Science. And when I got so busy with doing that boom bappity ass shit, Paz was going to another level. Paz was ascending. I'm sitting there trying to chase the old school. I'm still trying to make records that sound like Tribe Called Quest and Big L. Paz is ascending on another level. And this is a huge regret of mine. And I don't know that if I even had the opportunity to make it different, but Self and I always look back and think about this. When Paz went off on that level and doubled down on the Jedi mind trick type shit, we went off and just kept doing the boom bappity shit. I wish we had followed Paz down that path of doing the super deep ill shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason and it's all good. But Paz went on, and then they did Violent by Design. And when they did Violent by Design, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm missing a whole thing. Tibetan Black Magicians turned into the first Army of the Pharaohs, which was Bahamadia, Virtuoso. I think Cannabis was on that shit too. And am I right, Fixer?
No, Cannabis was on Baby Grand.
Cannabis, yeah.
The second album.
But it was Bahamadia, Virtuoso, Paz. Cannabis wasn't on that too?
I don't think he was on that. I just don't play with Baby Grand. I don't know.
Okay, Cannabis has something to do with it. Maybe we wanted to work with him or something.
So what did he do differently? Different style rapping, different beats?
Just, stayed on that same formula of doing the hardcore, grimy, ill shit with the deep knowledge and the deep sciences and, the ill, crazy shit. And he mastered that, and he made it his path.
So you've always done boom bap, and it seems to be your core. That's what you love. You don't really venture out.
No, that's not true. I do every fucking thing. I have
core.
ventured out, but that was the core.
For me, I like synthesized music. I liked all that kind of music. West Coast,
Sure.
Southern, just a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So I still love a whole bunch of kind of music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not just boom bap.
So
it's
were you
everything.
were you fucking with West Coast legendary shit like Spice One and Too Short back in the day?
And MC8, yeah, all that
Loved
stuff
MC8.
back in the day, yeah. I love that
MC8.
stuff.
See, I love those guys so much who transcended and went beyond coastism. Is coastism a fucking thing? I don't know. But I love those guys who, you know, they went to a level where you didn't give a fuck where they were from. It didn't matter. MC8 was like that. Scarface was like that. You don't care where they're from. You just got to have their tape.
They were the biggest at the time, right?
Yeah.
But where are they at today? Because they're past. Our time is past, unfortunately.
But they're still doing great.
They are.
They're still doing great.
Today's modern era, these younger kids, they're not listening to what we love.
Right.
And I understand it. I'm not mad about it. But it is what it is. They're not listening to what we loved.
There's a few exceptions. There's a small minority of young people who fuck with the class. Young LaRose is one of those.
Correct.
Young LaRose is out here catching fucking legendary CDs and rocking it. You know,
But it's not mainstream hip hop
No.
that we loved.
No.
That's kind of underground today.
That's why, and I think we're going to talk about this on the next episode.
Okay.
All right, so stay tuned for the next episode. That's why I don't give a fuck what you think or what you say or disagree with me. It's my personal opinion. Fight me or kill me. I don't give a fuck what you think. That's why I feel hip hop as I knew it is dead now.
Ooh.
I'm not saying hip hop is dead to you. You don't have to feel some kind of way. It doesn't matter. What I eat doesn't make you shit. Hip hop to me, as I knew it, is dead now. And that's okay, by the way. I'm at peace with that.
Because hip hop for me is live and well. It's just hidden.
Sure,
You've gotta do
sure.
search
If you
to
feel
find,
like that,
you got to do searching to find what we love.
we'll get into that on the next episode because that's too much to unpack right
It
now.
is.
That's
a
a
lot.
whole nother fucking hour and a half.
That's a deep
Matter of fact, that
combo.
might have to be a longer episode. We might have to really dig into that bitch. But it's not the same to me. So anyway, that's that. I want to shout out our brothers. Big shout out to the homies at North Swell.
Ooh, shout out North Swell. Love them, love them.
North Swell's a clothing company based out of Mystic, Connecticut, and all their gear is coastal. That's why you see me rocking it. It represents where we're from. It's dope, man. Those are the homies. They make really, really dope shit. We're about to do a new collab, bro.
That's going to be
The
dope.
new Apathy North Swell collab is dropping. I believe it's dropping Labor Day.
Where's North Swell out of?
Mystic.
Mystic, Connecticut. Okay,
Yep.
guys. Mystic, Connecticut.
Yep, and you guys will be able to get it online. I'll post the link. It's gonna be wait, hold on. Post the link. It's gonna be
Well, in the meantime, I'm wearing Dr. Dre, but I'm usually wearing North Swell gear because I support it 100% and he supports us. So big shout out to North Swell.
hold on, you're gonna have to chop this, Brandon. Chop it so it's just a little bit. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, new collab. The new shirt that we're doing is gonna be a hoodie, and it says Block Island Puddle Jumpers.
Yeah, I saw it. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be really dope, really dope. For you guys who don't know what a puddle jumper is, it's just a little plane that takes you from one section out to an island. So it's dope. Block Island Puddle Jumpers, which we got Block Island right off our shore right here. So anyway, we're the fuck up out of here, man. Al Mayo, it's been real.
It's been real, guys. It's been real.
Make sure you guys follow Al Mayo. His content is dope.
I say it all the time. My content is dope. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see.
Subscribe and check it out. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on all your notifications for this channel because you don't want to miss this shit. So anyway, we the fuck up out of here, bro. This has been the Shorecast, and until next time, I am Apathy.
I'm Al. See you on a rebound.
Peace.
Peace out.